I'm not okay. I thought I was okay, but I'm not okay. Hopefully you guys can see me because it's kind of dim in here because I am in my closet room. Yeah, it's dim in here. But I wanted to share something that I just experienced, and I kind of had a breakdown while I was at work today and talking to my wife about it. So, as the title most likely reads, if I post this, I was profiled today, well, Saturday, and I'm a little shook about it. So on Saturday, it was started off a great day. We was gearing up to going to Field of Screams in Pennsylvania later on that day, and it was time to get ready, and I noticed we were out of soap and I needed some acetone to soak off my nails. So I said, yeah, let me just, since I gotta go to the post office, let me stop at Walgreens up the street from my house. So I stopped at Walgreens. I leave Walgreens. I noticed a cop car is behind me. I didn't think anything of it because I'm clean. I don't do anything. They most likely running my tags. I have insurance, no tickets, no flags. They go run them and go on about their business like most cops typically do. They didn't do that. They kept following me, and they followed me for about 2 miles, maybe longer. And it was kind of weird because they didn't stop me at any stop signs. From where I was at to my house, it's at least 3 or 4 stop signs. I stopped at every last one of them. They did not stop me. And then, so in my mind, I'm like, maybe they just going in this direction and it's a coincidence. So I get to my street and I live in an N unit. So I see that it was an empty space in front of our house. So I went in the alley a little bit so I could back up and park in front of my home. And these cops jumped out of their car on me as if we were in the middle of a high-speed chase or something. They just jumped out. Don't move. Stay where you at. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then one cop got out the passenger side and he ran in front of my car and smacked my car and said, don't get out of the damn car. And then he went and stood like further in the alley, like as if I was going to run or something. I don't know. It was freaking weird. And then the white cop comes up to me and he said, why were you running from us? What? What do you mean running? I was coming home. He said, well, this car is stolen. I said, the car is not stolen. And he said, well, who's Tiffany Teller? That's my wife. And he gave me this weird look. And then it went from the car being stolen to, do you know why we were following you? And I'm like, no, I don't. And he's like, because this is one of the most stolen vehicles in the state. Okay, that still isn't a reason to follow me. My car isn't stolen. And he said, well, you have a warrant. I said, I don't have any warrants. He said, we have a warrant for your arrest. I said, I don't have any warrants. So he's talking, and while he's talking, I got my phone in my hand, and I'm on case search. There's something in this area, in the DC, Maryland area, where you could look up cases and court, anything related to court. So I looked it up. I said, sir, I just looked on case search. I don't have any court dates, nothing. He said, well, your wife got a warrant. I said, I looked her up too. He said, well, I need to see your ID. I found it strange that initially he told me my car was stolen. Then he told me that the car was the top stolen car in the state. Then he said I had a warrant. Then it went from me having a warrant to my wife having a warrant, all before he even had my driver's license in his hand. So then he said, I need you to have your wife come outside. And I said, sir, I called her, but I said, I'm not telling her to come outside because you're not going to arrest her, and I'm not leaving this car because I still don't know why I was pulled over. It doesn't matter if my car is the top car that is most likely to be stolen in the state of Maryland. That still is no reason to pull me over. So you mean to tell me you pull over every Honda Accord? Like, come on, like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, you all, it's a warrant for a DTA for not showing up at court. And I said, we don't have any open court cases. We don't have any missed court cases. We don't have any trials. It's nothing. What are you talking about? And he said, get out of the car and have your wife come out. Mind you, I still don't know why I'm pulled over. Typically, if you get pulled over for something, it's because maybe one of your headlights are out, or maybe one of your brake lights are out, or maybe you have a flag from motor vehicles, or like a flag for not paying tickets or having an insurance lapse or something. I have none of that. We have none of that. I still don't know. So I said, I'm not getting out of my car. I'm not telling my wife to come outside. What I am going to do is I'm going to call 911 and have a sergeant, a manager, whoever is over you come out. So he walked back to his car and he came back. And he said, oh, you can hang up with them. It was just a mistake. And I said, no. And the lady on the phone was saying, do you still want me to send somebody out? I said, yes. And he said, well, it was just a mistake. It was a technical error. Come here. Let me show you. Let me show you. And I said, well, if I come and look at your computer, I'm letting you know I got my video camera on my phone. And I have this lady still on the phone. I'm not hanging up. And he just gave me this look like he was angry. And I looked at the screen and he said, see, it was a typical error. Whoever put the data into the system, they put the tag numbers wrong, and there's 2 digits wrong in the tag. So see, you see how your wife's name is at the top, but at the bottom is somebody else's name, and you see that red line. Where the red line was at that said warrant, it was nowhere near my wife's name. It was near the other person's name. So again, why was I pulled over? And I ain't never had nothing like that happen to me. I grew up in a neighborhood in DC that was horrible, where I can remember me and my sister and one of my brothers, we used to stand in the tub in the bathroom and literally watch bullets fly. We used to see people get shot. We used to see people dead on the ground. Growing up, that was normal. I made the decision very early on that I didn't want to have to experience that anymore. And I didn't want my child or my kids to experience that. So I moved away from it. I had not had to see too much of anything negative, although I live in Baltimore, until this. The whole time they pulled up on me and ran up to me, and the anger and the disgust in this white cop's face and how his tone was with me, I was so terrified that this was the day I was going to die. And the first thing that came to mind is, I hope my daughter is still asleep, because I do not want her to see them do something to me. And I thought I was okay. You know, I was angry about it, and I was sad, and I was hurt, because I'm a model citizen. All I do is go to work, pay taxes, pay bills, be a mom, be a wife, a business owner. I give back. I'm a model citizen. Like, why is this happening to me? It's so much stuff that's going on within Baltimore City, and they are harassing me. I honestly felt like I was going to be the next Sandra Bland. I thought, like, these people are going to drag me out of my car, and they're going to take me somewhere, and my family's going to be notified, and Monday morning my wife is going to be planning my funeral because these people killed me. Like, that's literally how I felt. I've been around guns growing up. I've been around drugs growing up. I dated hustlers. I had brothers that's hustlers. It's people that I knew of killed people. Like, I've been around violence. When I was a little girl, I never experienced anything like this. So many people have so much stuff to say when it comes to us and how so many of us is fighting for our rights right now. But I don't think people outside of our community really understands how it feels to be black and have to be afraid of the people who are hired, who are employed to protect you as a citizen. These are the people who are supposed to protect you, and they are the ones that's trying to take us out. You know, it's so many people, Republicans, Trump, Kanye, that don't understand why the black community is fighting so hard right now to be heard and to be viewed and to be treated with respect. But they're not taking into account that if we were treated like human beings from the jump, we wouldn't have to fight to be treated like. I feel so violated. That when it was, and he ended up leaving, he gave me a little yellow form, wrote on the form, warrant error. I decided to keep it in my car just in case it happens again. I don't know. So remember early in the story, I told you how I called 911 and asked for a sergeant or something to come. No one showed up. I got a phone call from the sergeant maybe 2 hours later. Anything could have happened to me. And she never showed up. She called. I came in the house and I sat at my dining room table and I drank a whole bottle of wine and half a bottle of brandy because I was so numb. Later that day, I didn't want to cancel our plans. My daughter, her best friend, my wife, everybody was looking forward to going to Field of Screams, although I knew I wasn't okay. I said, let's go. And we had a great time. And the next day, I slept all day because I just wanted to cry. But I didn't want my wife and my daughter to see me cry. So I thought I was fine. I get up and go to work yesterday, and usually when I'm on my way to work, I'm doing one or two things while driving. I'm listening to iTunes, I'm listening to Cardi B, I'm listening to Sweetie and Migos, you know, all of my ratchet music to get me in the mood for work, or I'm listening to Ricky Smiley morning show. That's usually what I do every morning. Yesterday, I drove to work in silence because I was so afraid to be behind the wheel of my car that I love so much. So I'm driving to work, I'm halfway to work, and in my mirror, I see a cop car. It wasn't behind me, it was to the side of me, and I got so nervous. My heart felt like I was running up a mountain, and he just rolled past, and I couldn't get my heart to stop racing. And when I pulled up to work, I literally had to text my boss and say, I'm here, but I'm gonna need 10 minutes to get myself together. Like, this shit is not normal. You know, I'm used to racist stuff. I've dealt with racism before in my life. I never had to deal with it at this level. And in the world today, it's like all the racism is being protected by our president. He is, it feels like he's making it okay. And I'm not okay. I drove to work this morning. I had one foot on the pedal, my other foot was shaking. Like, I'm not okay, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I don't even want my car anymore. I feel like I want to sell it because I don't want to be profiled. So apparently my car is the top car to be stolen in the state of Maryland, and it's usually stolen by dope boys and hustlers, and I was mistaken for a dope boy hustler. I mean, I know I have strong features, but nothing about me looks like a man. Nothing looks like I'm a drug dealer. Definitely not these G cups. I don't know when I'm gonna be okay. But right now, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm nervous and I'm scared, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. The past 2 days, I blew my daughter's phone up when I knew it was around the time she's supposed to get out of classes. And I say, "Are you okay? Did you go somewhere after your classes? Are you going home?" Like, just bothering her because I'm so afraid that they go to pull her over. I don't know what needs to happen, but something got to happen because these cops should not be allowed to get away with doing this. And all of that happened, and I still don't know why I was pulled over in the first place.